Hey, 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 hey. What is up? Hey, we are back and we are black. Man, this is the No I Don't Know type shit podcast. You know what it is. Man, I am back. I'm glad to be back in the midst of my people, or whoever the fuck is watching this bullshit. But anyway, let me turn this clown ass shit down. Man, what is going on? What is going on? Man. Let me make sure everything is working. Man, we had some technical difficulties. Man, for real. I was like, God damn. Shit was just tripping. But I digress. You know how it is. You got clown ass Mac, and then it's a clown ass call, a clown ass number, and then they treating you like you a fucking clown, and then this, you know, they send you all the way to Australia, mate. Let me get your first and last number. I'm glad that we can help you out with whatever is going on with you, mate. That type of clown ass shit. But anyway, hey man, it is what it is. We already know what it is. But anyway, hey, I'm about to get into it. Like I said, you see last time I wasn't on here long, like a motherfucker. I cut that shit real short. But anyway, man, I'm about to get right into it. The Central Park 5 racism. Man, I just got done watching that shit on Netflix. I don't know if I'm done. I don't know how many episodes it is. But man, before I get into that real quick, I'm about to say, yep, of course, you know, Court Plantation does exist. You know what it is, but I'm about to get into it. Man, after watching this shit, that shit had me hot. I ain't gonna lie. I watched a couple of things. I'm gonna get into it. I got another book that I'm almost done with. I'm reading The Matrix of Power by Jordan Maxwell. Very good book. But man, that goddamn Central Park 5 shit. Now I remember when it happened because I was young. I was like 8, 9 years old, or I was young than a motherfucker when that shit happened. And I remember it was kind of on the news. It was more an East Coast thing, you know, but I remember that shit was like a big deal. But back then I was a little kid, so you know, I was Jesus Said It and shit, singing in the Sunshine Band type shit. So I had no idea what, you know, the ramifications and the severity of that issue. Man, watching that shit, and I know that's what happened because those young brothers are adults now. So they're able to tell exactly what happened, especially if they sit down collectively. It's all gonna be the same shit. Now, if y'all listen to any of my podcasts, go back and listen to all of them. Shit, go back and listen. Just pick one. Pick one in the last month or so. You hear me talking about these things. Now, with that being said, racism is the competition of resources, right? We got that from Neely Fuller Jr. And we got that from Dr. Claude Anderson. I think it's either Dr. Claude Anderson or Neely Fuller Jr. But anyway, now you see how racism worked. Hey, what's going on, chat room? Hey, y'all gonna always hear me talking. Hey man, sorry about that, Johnny, man. Hey, I did that shit on Sunday, and then I had to hurry up. I had some shit to handle, and then you know, it wasn't that long. I was trying to hurry up and just kind of get one in, and then yesterday I couldn't get it in because my shit was tripping. You know how it is when you download new shit on these fucking clown ass Apples and shit, MacBook Pro type shit. You gotta call they clown ass because the audio and shit wasn't working. I ain't tech savvy. I wish I had an engineer. If this show get big enough, I'll have an engineer. I could put some money in his hand and then he can engineer the shit, and all you see me doing is talking. But anyway, man, now if you go back and listen to some of my other motherfucking podcasts, you always hear me talk about different books and different things like Black Labor, White Wealth, and Medical Apartheid. You just different type of clown ass books. But the main ones you always hear me talk about is Dr. Frances Welsing's The ISIS Paper, Black Labor, White Wealth by Dr. Claude Anderson, and then you hear me talk about Neely Fuller Jr. Now, not back in the day, but probably last year sometime, I was always talking about the new Jim Crow. Now, this is how they all tie in by Michelle Alexander. Now, the new Jim Crow I'm gonna put that up there so y'all can see that shit, clown ass camera. You know, I'm hood as fuck. But the new Jim Crow, let's get this in, y'all. It's exactly what we was talking about. It's exactly what she talked about in this book. Now, when you like, well, Warren, they weren't racist. Okay, they were all on code. Every single last one of them. Elizabeth Lederer and Linda Fairstein are some ain't shit white bitches, period. And let me tell you something about them. They know that the system works in their favor. They know that melanated people have no education. We don't know how to study the law. We don't know what's going on. We don't read books. We're trying to scratch and survive. And the things that they did, if you haven't seen it, go check it out. Central Park, When They See Us, based off the Central Park 5. And it's a true story. Because those brothers are still alive and they still telling this story to this day. Man, that bitch Linda Fairstein wasn't shit. Both of them none of those Caucasians in there was shit. But the lawyer, the attorney for the defendants. But everybody else, they wasn't shit. That legal system ain't shit to me, period. Fuck that goddamn legal system. We gotta understand that this legal system strategically was set up to benefit Caucasians, not melanated people. So while y'all out there going and voting and thinking that your vote fucking count, you see where your vote got you. You got you unjustly, illegally convicted. Then they in there talking to the kids. These are all minors. And they talking to them. And there was one child in there. I give him props, man. He went downtown just because they got his friend. They didn't even ask him, but they got his friend. And he's like, well, I'll go down there with him. They had him lying on fucking tape. Then that motherfucking nigga, the one nigga that's from The Wire, the one nigga, he's a very good actor. That he played the dad. Oh man, yo, man, come on, fathers, man, come on, man. We gotta lead by example. He didn't even want to lose his job, so he had his kid basically lie. Well, just lie. Tell them what they want to hear. But I'm mad at the cops for being like, this shit ain't right. This shit is not fucking right. Nah, fuck it then. I quit. Cause I'm not doing that. But they were all on, what do you hear me talking about? What do you hear me always fucking talking about? They had a code. They had a motherfucking code. That's why it worked. And that lady, Linda Fairstein, that bitch didn't give a fuck. She was calling them animals and I know what she was doing. I know exactly what she was doing. And you can say, well, it's a movie and it's far-fetched and all that. Bullshit, bitch. And then the other lady, Linda Federer or whatever, she wasn't shit either. Painting this nasty picture of these children, and they didn't, and having those police coerce those fucking children, melanated children, to tell these lies because they in Central Park. At least the one mother went in there and was like, how dare you question my child without me being present? And then the parents that were present, they didn't know what the fuck was going on. He's a good kid. No, we need an attorney, but we don't know that. You know why? Because we're too busy. Jesus said it. He's a merciful guy and trying to make, this make-believe story in our head. Like, these are good white people. They understand my kid is a good kid. First of all, what did the Honorable Elijah Muhammad teach us? You go to them for justice. You go to the Senate, the state, the mayor to have justice for your people. How could they give you justice when the whole goddamn motherfucking time they giving you poison in the food, in the drugs that they give you? It's all fucking poison. When you go get an abortion, that's poison. Sterilizing your fucking child. And that's exactly why they banned it in all those goddamn southern states where it's predominantly Caucasians. You know why? You're like, man, Warren, why, man? Let me tell you why. Dr. Francis Cress Welsing teaches us about genetic annihilation. That's what. And Planned Parenthood and Margaret goddamn Sanger and her fucking plan to exterminate melanated people. That's what she wanted to do. And she got coons and Sambos to coerce and convince us to do it. Oh, yeah, man, go in there. It's the gas chamber. But it's cool, my nigga. You chilling type shit. Hey, I gotta read. Elizabeth told them how the story went and made them agree to it. Oh, okay. Okay, so she felt bad. So okay, so that, thank you. Shout out to the chat room. Shout out to Shawnee Brown. I was wondering how they got that info. Well, I can see it from the brothers' perspective, because they gonna have their perspective on what happened with the police. But I'm like, how did they get that info on what the attorneys on the other side was saying? That's what I was tripping off of. How did they get that info? I'm like, damn, how'd they get that shit? Cause that shit looked, it almost seemed realistic. I was so goddamn mad when I watched the first episode. I was so fucking mad my blood pressure was going up. Because those are children. They will go after the youth. They don't give a fuck. Hey, fucking John Tavius, bring your fucking black ass over here. Put your hands behind your fucking head. Slapping them. Bop the one kid upside the head with a helmet, and then try to say that he got that because he was raping the bitch, and the bitch clocked him. Bopped him upside the head. Man, get the fuck out of here. I'm glad I'm glad Elizabeth told, because she knew. So that's why ain't nobody said nothing bad about Elizabeth Lederer, and they was calling for Linda Fairstein. Bitch, you out of here. That bitch done wrote books and did all kinds, sitting on boards and shit. This is what they do. Look at Mark Furman. Mark Furman clearly planted evidence on OJ. Clearly was on record saying he say nigga, got all kinds of complaints, and then all they did was just move him to another spot in the police department and put him at a desk. That's being on code. That's what they do. They do that. That's what they do at corporate America. They don't fire Caucasians. They just move them around. If they fire them, that's because they probably like, okay, well, we can get rid of this we can put this on our budget. Let's get rid of this person. But very seldom, if you doing some fuckery shit to melanated people, they're not going to fire you. That's a fact. Now, if you go doing some shit to another Caucasian, another person started a dominant society, now they might have a problem. But they definitely ain't just gonna fire you because you fucking with niggas. That's a fact. I've seen it. I haven't been around the world as much as everybody else, and I haven't been on this planet as much as everybody else. But let me tell you, from the things I've seen and the things I have read, it matches like a motherfucker. And I done seen some god awful shit. I done seen motherfuckers smoking crystal meth in the goddamn bathroom. That's a fucking fact. And nobody say nothing. Nobody. And everybody act like it's okay. But the minute a nigga act a fool, you're fired, nigga. Guilty, nigga, you're fired. That's sad, man. It's very sad. And this is our judicial system. I'm going to keep saying this. Who's holding the accountable? Who is? Who's holding them accountable? When you think of all these Fortune 500 companies and all that, okay. When it comes to melanated people, we should have a special task force that's going to make sure that there is justice being served for melanated people, especially after what the fuck has happened to us the last 450 goddamn years. All they did was manipulation, and they got the parents too. That's a fact. They did get those parents. You see that one nigga, the one nigga, they convinced him to have his son just straight lie. Just tell him, you know. And then the other son, I guess he was Puerto Rican or Cuban or something. That dad, he didn't really know nothing, but he was just kind of like, why are you saying that? And then the kids is like, you know what it showed me? Lack of education. And I'm not talking about indoctrination and going to a 4-year college, just knowing what it is and what's going on. Just knowing what it is and knowing. At least that one mama did say, you don't have a right to question my kid without me being there. Period. And then if y'all notice, Niecy Nash, she's in that too. She is awesome. Man, hey, she can act. But let me tell you something. She played a great mom. And I like how they showed that scene when the parents started arguing, because that's exactly what happens. We get around each other, and because one person sticks up for themselves, everybody else get mad. But everybody else should have been there sticking up for their children too. She just happened to be one of those mothers that's like, nah, you're not doing mine like that. But when the lady was like, you know, trying to make a separate deal for her son, she was like, because he didn't talk to the police. He didn't admit nothing. Was that the right thing to do? Nah, not really. Not save yourself because you all a team. But we have been socialized to be individuals first and then team second. That's a fact. No, it was lack of leadership and the kids followed the parents. Very much lack of leadership. And when I mean education, I mean self-education. Reading, knowing that you are a special people, that you're peculiar people. There's a reason why they need us here. The reason why they had us build this country, because no other race could do it. We are descendants of Moors. Moors are responsible for ancient civilization. Moors had the sign. Once you start knowing those things, you look different, you think different. Once you start self-educating, because a lot of this history was out then in the 80s. We had Tony Browder and John Henry Clark and Dr. Hiawatha Kamene and Dr. James Henry Smalls. We had those people then. It's just, it was looked at and revered like, ooh, why would you mess with them? They're teaching you about going against the grain. And that's why the dude, the parent, the father, the black father, he trying to make a side deal with the police and just basically made his kid lie and throw in chairs, and because he didn't want to lose his job. He didn't even have the testicular fortitude to say fuck you and his job. You're not finna have my son admit some shit that's wrong. Lack of leadership. That's because they gave us religion that says that the Caucasian is God. That's a fact. Everybody needs to go get The Matrix of Power by Jordan Maxwell. Man, he is saying this all in the book. How Freemasonry came from ancient Egyptian or ancient Kemet principles, which is Egypt, which is in Africa, which is us. Because they weren't that light back in the day, niggas. Trust me. I'm talking about before the Greeks got a hold of Egypt. He talks about how all the religious beliefs, came from Africa. He talks about the dollar, how I always talk to y'all about how it has the pyramid. And then at the top of the pyramid, it has the all-seeing eye, the eye of Horu, the eye of Horus, which is the son of God, according to ancient Kemet beliefs, if I'm not mistaken. He talks about all that. How religion is the greatest story, how the Bible is the greatest story that's ever been told. And all it is an allegory that's been told for thousands of years. That's it. We'll go believe in that, but you know what? What's at the helm of it? It's Pau Gasol. It's Kurt Rambis with a perm press just for me kid. That's what it is. So you're gonna associate everybody with that. That's why they said that's your God, because it looked like them. When you remove that and be like, nah, black God. Sorry, he's black. If there is a guy, it ain't y'all. That's a fact. What you mean it ain't them, Warren? They can't even be in the sun. That's why I know they not these are Ashkenazi Khazarian Jews. They couldn't survive in no goddamn Africa. They can't. They invented sunscreen because of them. Go watch the underworld. They are the vampires and melanated people are the werewolves. The werewolves are stronger than them, period. No, because that lady, Linda Fairstein, remind me of Victor. What is this ruckus? That nigga. The old ass nigga, one of the oldest vampires, had all that strength, but did not want the bloodlines commingling because he was in fear of genetic annihilation. That's a fact. Go watch the movie. It's 3 or 4 of them. Just like if you look at Game of Thrones, the black people are the Night Walkers. We're the melanated people are the Night Walkers. But the movie, the show is so cold. I was thinking about that. The show is so cold. They have you hating them. But if you notice, they could not kill them. It had to be the dragon's glass or some clown ass shit that they made up, some allegory shit they put in there. But we gotta understand what it is. That was the new Jim Crow in the 80s, and and then you got clown ass Donald Trump writing articles talking about they should get the death penalty. That's why I'm telling y'all motherfuckers, who gives a fuck about Donald Trump and all this clown shit? They're gonna look, when a person shows you who they are, believe them. Stop acting like the shit don't exist. And stop giving them a chance. We always want to forgive Caucasians, but we don't even want to forgive each other. Man, fuck them. I'm like the goddamn Ashkenazi Khazarian Jews. How they never forget the Holocaust. I will never forget what has been done to us the last 500 years. So fuck Andrew Jackson. Fuck George Washington. All them clown motherfuckers talking about he wouldn't tell a goddamn lie. Fuck Alexander the Greek and they good thieving asses stealing our goddamn science, and Pythagoras and them lying and shit and acting like they came up with the goddamn shit and they stole it. Man, fuck all these motherfuckers, man. And I'm so sick of motherfuckers acting like this shit didn't happen. Now, if the Caucasian lady, Elizabeth Lederer, told the story, she was right there, then that should have let you know right there, like, well, damn, somebody ain't fucking lying. Oh. You know why? Because it's so hard for us to see them in an evil light or just an evil platform or demonic. Because they classify demonic as melanated. But y'all need to watch that show, Lucifer. White guy, has an English accent, everything. But guess what? He's the goddamn devil and he's the light bearer. And when he turns like real bad, no, he has a face like Freddy Krueger. He don't turn to no black man. The actual good guy is Amedadel, whatever his name is. He one of the angels. He's black. It's a good show to watch. It kind of gives you a little bit it throws a lot of punchlines in that religion and how stupid and how ridiculous it can be and how we'll get into it over shit that don't even matter. Niggas will fight over some religious beliefs, but the dominant society will come together no matter what. You will have Presbyterians and you will have Scientologists and Jehovah's Witnesses and Mormons and Jews all together, because guess what? They're all part of the dominant society and they will make sure that it stays in power. But black people, they mad because black people look at you, oh, well, I'm Baptist. Oh, well, I'm AME. Well, I'm Church of God in Christ. Well, I'm Morris Science Temple. Well, I'm Hebrew Israelite. Well, I'm this, I'm that. I don't fuck with them. We teaching the real shit over here. Man, get the fuck out of here. Let me tell you who teaching the real shit. Dr. Francis Cress Welsing, Dr. Claude Anderson, Michelle Alexander, Dr. Jordan Grew, Dr. Boyce Watkins, Neely Fuller Jr., Tony Browder, Ivan Van Sertima. They're teaching the real shit. While y'all sitting up there arguing about shit that don't even fucking matter. You got to learn how to put that shit to the side. See, that Central Park 5, if those parents would have all been in alignment with each other, they would have never been able to do that. They would have been like, nah, you're not doing that. See, when that lady got her son out, she should have asked him. I know it's a far-fetched, but she should have said, is any other boys in there? Where are the rest of these boys at? Call their parents. That's how a community does it. Call their parents. No, well, you know what? Well, I'll be out here. I'm calling a lawyer. Find out where they are. Where are their parents at? Why y'all in here coercing them to fucking lie about them raping some woman? Now that's what the system of white supremacy is all about. Those little shits, one of those little shits are gonna go down for this. I mean, they all had conflicting statements. They didn't know where the goddamn rape was. They didn't know what the fuck was going on. But they still convinced themselves to tell a goddamn lie. Oh, you can't mess with me? No, look, let me tell you why I watch it. You know why? Because I watch it. I can't mess with you on that show, fam. I'm not really a TV watcher, but Lucifer is not on my list. Let me tell you something. And I understand that. This is the first time watching, but I heard some great scholars say, man, watch the show. But watch it from a subjective view. You gotta, and the reason why I watched it, and let me break it down why I watched Lucifer. Because it's basically telling you, clown, while y'all thinking black people are the devil, the Amadadil, he was the angel, he was the good angel. And then if you notice the white boy with the English accent, he was the bad guy. Fucking all the bitches, having a party every night, doing everything, living his life reckless. And it was basically, to me, I interpret it from this is how dumb people are. Y'all have this preconceived notion of what the devil is in hell, and people don't even know Dante's Inferno. They invented hell. The ancient Kemets, they didn't believe in no hell. They believed in the transmigration of spirits. They didn't believe in no, purgatory. You going to hell, there's a motherfucker with a pitchfork down there. They made that up to control and bind you. That's why I watch that from that standpoint. I don't watch it from the standpoint of, it's good. I like how much they poke fun at religious beliefs. Like when they're like, oh my God, yeah, God. You know what they're trying to do? They're basically, this is just my perspective, they're basically telling you, clown, did you know that Lucifer, if you look it up, etymology, look at etymology of the devil, Lucifer. It's the light bearer. That's what it means. But what did they teach you when Jesus said it in regular church? You gonna go to hell. You're gonna be in a lake of fire with the devil. Clown, the devil is a light bearer according to the ancient scriptures. But it's so conflicting because they use it to bind and control and manipulate the masses. That's why I watch it, because it's poking fun at how engulfed people are over religion. You know, and I don't diss nobody that has religious beliefs and all that. Look, I grew up in the church, but you know what? I used to always wonder, like, why you got a pitchfork? Where did all this shit come from? Why they look like that? Why is it when it's black, it's dark, and they got pitchfork, and they got a red dark tail? Why is it like that? But then when you look at Jesus, he looked like Pau Gasol. He looked like a Spaniard. It makes sense that he looks like a Spaniard. Cesare Borgia, that's a fucking Spaniard, a European. But when it comes to the devil, then they go to Africa and be like, oh, well, they look like a nigga. The truth is right in our face. So they tell you the truth and let you decide. Exactly. That's why I watch it. That's a fact. Because look, I don't watch nearly as much TV as I used to watch. I didn't even watch the first goddamn. I watched one game in the NBA Finals, and after that, I was just like, all right, I'm over it already. I really don't give a fuck. Because at this point, I'm not making no money off that shit. That's one. Two, I'm not spending Steph Curry's money. Let me tell you what only thing, I'm going to be honest with you. The only way I'm worried about it is because Rucatan, that little emblem that's on Golden State Warriors, I own stock in that company. So that's why I want Steph Curry and them to do good. Oh, and two, I own stock in Under Armour too. That's a fact. So that's why I hope Golden State wins, because I own stock in Under Armour and a Rucatan that's on the Golden State's emblem. When they shoot their free throws, watch it. But other than that, I can give a fuck about money and contracts and all that. That don't got shit to do with us. Not really. $40 Million Slave. I haven't read that book yet, but I will be reading it. And that's the only reason why I watch Lucifer. I try to watch a lot of stuff that has meaning. Even if it doesn't have substance, I try to take things out of it. Like, excuse me, what's the show? God damn, what's the name of the show? Excuse me again. What is the name of that damn show? I forgot. It's like the Housewives bitches. And I watched that show, the ones where they in Baltimore. Well, they call it Potomac, but it's all Washington, D.C. I watched the show because you have a different perspective from each melanated sister. You got one melanated sister who lost their whole fucking fortune. You got one melanated sister who's drop dead gorgeous, but grew up, 2-parent home, was socialized to be strong, empowered, and she got her education, and she's an entrepreneur. You know, but they all got, more realistic stories. It's more relatable. As far as when I watch it, it ain't over the top. Like, ain't none of them on that show fronting like they got all this fucking money. But then it is one bitch on there that look like Alf. And that bitch is fronting like a motherfucker, like she got all this money and she renting houses and shit. You know, you see the different perspective. Then you got one sister that's on there, and she was an elderly Australian Caucasian, and then she got him taking care of her whole family. You know, so you watch these things and you're like, wow. Like, where did the socialization come from where you would want to be on TV doing that? You know what I mean? Where's the entrepreneurship about us? You know, when we get in front of that TV, We want to dance. We want to go shopping and show people. And I get it, it's a TV show. But remember, remind you this. If it's about anything that's empowering to our people, they're not going to put it on TV. That's a fact. But TV, Hollywood will tell you truth and lies all in one. And they'll say it's a movie, loosely based on a true story. But that Central Park 5 wasn't loosely based on shit. You had too many you had the 5 boys that told their story, then you had the prosecutor that told her story. So that's bullshit. Ava DuVernay did a great job. Them motherfuckers was in there, we gonna get these niggas. They ain't got no representation. And look, you know what's so funny? The NYPD Blue, that's what I like to call them. NYPD in blue. When have they ever made a public apology? When have they ever tried to rewrite their wrongs? That's the fraternal order of police. They don't give a fuck about no niggas. And the niggas that work, you see the nigga that was in the movie, if you watched it, that nigga didn't say shit. He wasn't trying to help those Caucasians. Help those melanated brothers and sisters. He was just sitting there. Look, man, everybody needs to check it out. When you watch this shit on TV, watch it from a subjective point of view. Not objective. Like, don't be oppositional. Just listen to the wording, the coding, and the symbolisms and what they put on there. And that's why I'll be watching that shit. Listening to the words. And like on Lucifer, you got Mazikeen, who's a sister, who's a bad to the bone sister, who's a demon. You notice they got Amadadil, who's a nice guy. If you watch the show, I'm just saying, it's all symbolisms. But the baddest one of them all is Lucifer. But he's so charming. But if you notice, they code it in such a way, if you watch the show, they code it in such a way where he's like, what is your greatest desire? And then they just start telling him everything. All they fucked up shit. See that? Think about it. Because they're trying to basically let you know that when you think of evil, don't think of no black person. You might want to think of a Caucasian. That's a fact. Let me tell you something. Okay, we can't go back 1,000 years. Let's go back 500 years. Caucasians have been the most volatile people on this soil in the last 500 years, starting with Andrew Jackson and racist ass Thomas fucking clown ass Jefferson and George Washington with his clown ass I didn't tell a lie and all the rest of them motherfuckers. Who's been lying? Every president that's been in office has been fucking lying and playing bullshit ass politics. Nixon, Carter, Bush, both of them, all of them. Dick Cheney, Barack Obama's clown ass. Where he at? He ain't said shit. Nothing. Where he at? He did what he was supposed to do. He got his little shit and he on his way. Now all he gonna be doing is doing press tours and going around trying to put the next clown ass Democrat in office. That's why they got clown motherfuckers like Joe Biden and Cory Booker and Kamala Harris and then Elizabeth Warren. For all y'all didn't check out Elizabeth Warren on the Breakfast Club, I give Charlamagne props. He was getting at that bitch though. He was letting her Now, first of all, bitch, you was born a Republican. And then all of a sudden you changed to be a Democrat and you said you was Native American. Oh, because that's what my family told me. My family could tell me that I'm Chinese, but that don't mean I'm finna be going around putting on the goddamn thing I'm Chinese. Unless I know for sure that I'm Chinese. Unless I got a great-great-great-grandmother that I met her some shit and I know she's Chinese. Bitch, you was trying to claim that Native American shit so you can claim that indigenous to landmass so you can get property and rights and inherit shit that's owed to you type shit. Man, get the fuck out of here. That bitch tried to think she was slick. Then when the bitch started, they started questioning her about reparations. Oh, I think we should. But there's professionals that can handle all that. But when it came time to talk about other shit, she had a plan for everything else but reparations. We're gonna tax the big businesses. Man, fuck all that taxing the big businesses. Where the fuck is the goddamn money that you owe melanated people? I don't want to give a fuck about that taxing goddamn Amazon and all this other shit. See, that's divisive and deflective white fragility bullshit. Just deflecting the question. Y'all gotta remember when they use these broad, ambiguous terms, as Dr. Claude Edison teaches us, this minority and people of color. No, you need to strategically read between the lines and say, no, I'm not talking about people of color, because I'm not talking about the Dominicans and the Puerto Ricans and the Cubans. I'm talking about melanated people, indigenous to this landmass. African, indigenous, melanated people. I'm not talking about Dominicans, Puerto Ricans, Latinos. I'm not talking about them. No diss to the Latinos, but I'm not talking about them because they like to group us with them. And then they get all the resources and we going about our motherfucking way. Shit, they got their own lawyers. They got their own everything now. And here we are sitting up here trying to include them on the little bit of benefits that we got. Just like when you look at the Central Park 5, those cops knew strategically that, oh, these parents ain't shit. They don't know who they are and they dumb as fuck and they scared of us. I'm not saying don't be afraid for your life when you're dealing with police, because they will kill you with impunity. But know exactly who you are and know your surroundings. And the first thing you need to say is, I need to speak to an attorney. That's a fact. Are you arresting me, officer? No. Well, then I need to speak to an attorney. I should be free to go. You're not supposed to question me. I have nothing else to say. Let me see the charges. Because let me tell you something. There's a book called Slavery by Another Name. And in Slavery by Another Name, I told y'all what they used to do. They would go. Central Park 5 has got damn near so many books written all over. In Slavery by Another Name, that was written by a Caucasian, man, he wrote it so brilliantly how Caucasians, the dominant society, would do black people. They would just see a nigga just like he saw them boys walking and say, hey, you, come here. Except they would say, hey, nigger, come here. Come here, nigger. Yeah, you, both of you niggers, get over here. What the fuck you guys doing over here, nigga? You're kind of, you know that. Oh, we just trying to get home, sir. Well, not no more. Nigga, you owe me money. No, I don't. I don't even know who you are. Well, I know who you are. You owe me $500. That's like a nigga pulling up next to you and tell you owe him $10,000. And you like, nigga, I don't owe you no $10,000. I don't even know you. Well, no, I'm calling the police and we gonna come get you. And then we take you to go see the magistrate. And then guilty, nigga. And then now you gotta work for me free labor for 5 years until you pay that $500 off. That's what they was doing in Slavery by Another Name. History has taught us the volatile, diabolical plan that these Caucasians, the dominant society, has put into place and made it into effect. And where it's still going on to this day. Don't think that it's not. Oh, what y'all think? Because y'all at the corporate plantation, and then you got somebody part of the dominant society that may tell you a little bit and it's nice to you and smile with you. Them motherfuckers ain't your friend. History has shown we have no friends. If they your friend, they not gonna work you twice as hard as they work everybody else. They gonna hold everybody else to the same standard that they hold you to. But 9 times out of 10, they'll never do that. They'll just keep holding you to that standard until you push back and get tired of the shit. And then when you get tired of the shit, what's their main thing with white fragility? Tyrone, what's wrong? You know, I thought everything was okay. You know, you laugh and you're not, why you so quiet? What happened to the old Tyrone? We missed that guy. That shit. And don't act like they ain't told you that. Because I've gotten told that so many goddamn times. On different corporate plantations that I have been on. It's fucking ridiculous. It's utterly bullshit to me. So when I saw the Central Park 5 shit, and I'm looking at Linda Fairstein, I said, this is an ain't shit white supremacist who saw melanated kids go round up, telling the police, I'm stopping frisk, round up all these animals and bring them in here. Fuck it, it don't matter who lives and families you ruin. After the real motherfucker came out and said that he raped that bitch, then what they should have done was they should have fired both of those prosecutors. And then they should have fucking suspended all those police who cooperated with that shit. But like I said before, who's holding the accountable? Nobody. No, because we too busy writing letters to the governor, to the mayor. Like who? Mayor Giuliani? When he was the mayor, that racist motherfucker. He don't give a fuck about no niggas. Y'all just run around in it. And before motherfucker, look, and if another motherfucker, look, I ain't never been to New York. But all this, oh, it's a melting pot, ain't racist, that's bullshit. I don't see them killing Puerto Ricans. I don't see them killing Cubans and Dominicans every goddamn day. But they choked the shit out of goddamn Eric Gardner on video. And only gave his family $5 million, $4 million. What the fuck can they do with that? Living in goddamn New York City. What can you do with $5 million? I digress. And let's go to New York. Let's just take a trip in New York. I can only imagine there's a bunch of bodegas. That's not melanated brothers and sisters. That's Puerto Rican Dominicans. You got your little Jamaican town. You got your Nigerian town. You got, but where's the shit for the melanated people? The indigenous people that were here before everybody else. Where's our shit at? Oh, what's our store? Nike? Man, come on, man. And it's no diss. I'm not, look, confident Puerto Ricans, Cubans, Latinos, period, they not tripping off this. Because confident Latinos, Puerto Ricans, Cubans, guess what they gonna do? They gonna be like, damn, he's right. My Puerto Rican brothers and sisters gonna be like, damn, that nigga's right. We got all kinds of shit. They ain't got shit. That's real confident Latino brothers and sisters. Real confident Caucasians, they gonna call out that racism shit as soon as they can smell it. They gonna be like, that's fucking racist. And they gonna be like, and that shit ain't funny to me. Period. Oh, and those Caucasians do exist. I've been around them where they like, no, that shit ain't fucking funny, homie. And they'll check it at the door. And those confident Caucasians, Latinos, they have a multitude of different type of friends around them. And even if they can't relate, if they know what's wrong, they'll say it's wrong. It's a fact. They're not gonna act like, oh, well, you know, black people, they ghetto, you know, and they talk loud and all that other shit. Let me tell you something. If you did not build this country and you're not indigenous to this landmass, you are an immigrant. All of you. I don't care if you were born here. If your parents did not build this country, you're an immigrant and you are a fucking freeloader. If you really want my honest opinion. Now, this is no diss to nobody, and don't take it the wrong way, but I just don't like how my people gets treated by the dominant society, and then everybody, when melanated people get a little bit of justice, then here come everybody else that's benefiting from our labor, like cheering us on like they had our back the whole time, but don't nobody give a fuck. Like I said, when Eric Gardner got choked out, where was everybody at? Where was everybody at? Well, I'm talking about all these melanated and Latino brothers and sisters that's on the police force. Where are they? Why didn't they speak out? Why didn't nobody say, hey man, that Italian motherfucker was wrong? And all you fucking Italians, I'm not talking to the confident Italians. You are Caucasian. I don't give a fuck how much Italian bullshit you be speaking. You're classified as Caucasian. Period. You don't go fill out no fucking job application. They say, oh, are you Jamaican, this, Puerto Rican, Cuban, Italian? No, Caucasian, clown. That's what you fill out the shit as. That's what you classify yourself as. So you can try to segregate yourself like you think you're different. You're still a Caucasian and you receive those benefits from being Caucasian. Period. I don't give a fuck who you are. I don't care if you're like, oh, I'm Ireland. You know. Oh dear. Oh, me lucky charms. Well, guess what? Me lucky charms, you're still Caucasian, clown. I don't give a fuck about that. And you are using that white privilege to move around the way you know melanated people cannot. Those Central Park 5 boys, what was they gonna do? They didn't have no representation. Their parents at work, got other shit going on. So all those dominant society police that was in there coercing those kids to fucking lie, that was some bullshit, man. That just was some bullshit. And just lying. And to the point to where those kids was like, yeah, I did do it. Because they said I can go home. Man, please. Just like Caucasians, the dominant society told, was it France or Spain? I think it was France or Spain, one of them, who had ownership of Florida, that, oh, we'll sign the peace treaty and we'll give all these niggas their land back that they rightfully deserve. Andrew Jackson rounded up the goddamn police, and went over there to Florida and was jacking niggas for their land. And killing niggas if they fucking opposed him. Basically, fuck y'all niggas. And this is my fucking land. So fuck Andrew Jackson. And any descendant that's Caucasian that's benefited from that shit. So, man, I don't want to hear that shit. And I'm tired of motherfuckers always talking about what they, I wasn't around for that. Or that wasn't my people, that Joe Biden talk. Man, get the fuck out of here. So, if my great-great-grandfather had a business that benefited off of killing Caucasians, do you think that I could sit up here and be like, well, that was my grandfather, that wasn't me? They gonna be like, man, guilty, nigga. They would build a time machine and put me in it and rewind me back to the time when my grandfather was there, and then they take a picture and then fast forward it back and then be like, nigga, you was there. We got a picture of you back then. Guilty, nigga. That's what they would do. Because where there's a will, there's a way with the dominant society. They'll just change the rules. They'll change they will change the fucking rules. Once melanated people start getting education and reading books, guess what they're going to start doing? Watch what's going to happen. You're not going to be able to get certain books on Amazon. You better go get them now. Look, I went in Barnes & Nobles. They didn't have none of the books that I talked about. They had a whole bunch of books about Warren Buffett and white millionaires. You think they had Jeremiah Hamilton, the first black millionaire on Wall Street? Let me read this. Let me read this from the chat. I forgot to tell you that the book called Medical Apartheid mentioned the prison in Philly. Holmesburg, yes it did. That's where the new guards go for training. Damn, they did say that. Man, that medical, tell the truth, Shawty Brown. That book, The Medical Apartheid, man, that's a cult. They need to make a movie about that. They need to make a movie about the medical apartheid. Because a lot of my melanated brothers and sisters, we have been socialized not to read. So that's why the Central Park 5, I wish they had a book. I'll go read the book. But it resonates better with our people when they put it in front of us. So shouts out to Ava DuVernay for doing that. We need that. We need that these are the type of stories we need to start telling. We got to stop shout out to Jay-Z being a black billionaire. And I'm happy for Jay-Z. That's good for us. But we need to start going back in history and telling the real stories. That's a fact. I can't wait to see who's going to tell the story about the Nation of Islam and how the government orchestrated the assassination of Malcolm X and tried to frame members of the Nation of Islam and tried to get the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, and I think it was Kabila X, to go at each other and use her and oh man, that's what they need to make movies about. How diabolical this government is that we work for or that we adhere to. That is the dominant society, because ain't no nigga in charge of no fucking shit at no government. Man, please, you are a commoner, and that's a fact. Now, Elizabeth Lederer, or whatever her name is, Lederer, or whatever her name is. Now, I'll commend you on telling that story, but we got to hold you accountable. You were god awful because you allowed Linda Fairstein to come in there with a chicken shit bullshit prosecution case, made up, fabricated, and you still took it on anyway, knowing it could ruin those children's lives, knowing it could ruin those family lives. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Is that you had no fucking friends because you were on the right side of wrong the whole fucking time, and you knew that shit. And you still allowed that lady, Linda Fairstein, to conduct bogus investigations, manipulate evidence, come up with bullshit theories with children that ain't even thinking about fucking no bitch in no park. They just out there causing mischief. But they so scared and they want to go home. So we got to understand this. They are going to take advantage of fragile homes. Just like Khalif Browder. I couldn't even watch the end of Khalif Browder's story. I couldn't even watch the end of it. I was damn near in tears. I could not watch it. I just could not watch it. Let me read this. Black people don't make laws. You right. Look, let me tell you something. Motherfucker come running up to me talking about voting, and then we put the nigga in charge, or Barack Obama, Barry, whatever his real name is, because it ain't Obama. He changed that shit. And what did he do for us? No, he said he was the president for all people. He did a whole lot. It's so funny. Every time we talk about reparations for black people, motherfucker, let's look into all these people when they sign off on reparations for Jews. Like Dr. Claude Anderson teaches, and like he said before, they've done everything for DACA. They've done everything for LGBTQ element OP, for the Chinamen, for the Korean men. But when it comes to melanated people, they just want your vote and they want you to take your black ass home. They want you to dance and sing and aspire to be like Jay-Z and Beyonce and then take your black ass home and go work them jobs. I ain't heard not a one nigga say, hey man, we gotta be more entrepreneurs and stop working for these companies. Because these companies are treating our people fucked up and they know it. That's why a lot of these companies, now you see a lot of Latinos at these companies. You know why? Because they'd rather hire them because a lot of Latinos are just grateful to be here. That's a fact. Tell me if I'm wrong. They just glad to be here. But once they get on and they get rooted and grounded in all this bullshit, then they start laughing and talking shit about niggas. And I be laughing like, damn, ain't this a bitch? That's why when a Latino woman tell me her parents said she can't date a black, I knew a girl who had 2 different kids by black men. 2 different babies by black men. And her dad talking shit about black men. But bitch, you fucking 2 different niggas. But again, they put it off on us. That's some racist shit. And that's what I look at. I'm like, damn, they will socialize other races that are part of dominant society that they are so much better than we are. For real. And that shit trips me out. You right. Black people got nothing. We got nothing. We have literally nothing. All you have is your respect and the knowledge that you have obtained, and it is your job to spread that shit. Don't hide, nigga, divide. That's what my mama used to say. Don't hide, nigga, divide. Nigga, if you got the knowledge, tell me. Don't hoard the shit. Come on, we gotta start teaching our people. And then look, let me tell you something. People outside of the dominant society, if they fuck with it, they'll fuck with it. Whatever they don't fuck with, they don't fuck with. If they're confident people that's a part of the dominant society, they're gonna be like, I understand why black people act like that and why black people feel that way. Because the first thing gonna say is white people have lost their goddamn fucking minds. We built the country. I'm reading a book by Jordan Maxwell. All these foundations and institutions are found on Freemasonry, which they got from the ancient Commetans, which Greeks stole it from them. That's why when you join some fucking Greek fraternity, they stole it from Africans, clown. That's not they shit. Greek fraternity, my goddamn ass, and Pythagoras and his clown ass, lying ass. And how we just long to aspire the great Aristotle and Socrates and Plato. Man, these motherfuckers want nothing but lying motherfuckers who stole. Look, I can't wait to see when it's a Caucasian that come out and say, look, all this shit that we teach you in school, they stole it from Africans. And all we did was repackage it and give it back to you. That's all it is. It's not our knowledge. We did not come up with it. The right triangle and all this other shit. If you look at geometry, I remember a Caucasian tried to say, oh no, it's based on a sundial or some shit. I said, well, sundials they got from Africans too, but no, it's based off of the ancient Egyptian pyramids, clown. That's how they built it, through mathematics, which was illegal in Greece. Correct? Correct. But no, we got niggas being white in black people's body. Look, man, like I tell you before, I don't give a fuck who you have around you, magnetizing people that you have around you, date who you want to date. That's the problem. And I remember, like I said before, I remember on the show, shout out to Nuke, when I remember this one nigga, he was talking this, pro-black shit, because I was like, nigga, I've been saying this. I'm like, nigga, I fuck with whoever fuck with me. When I lived in LA, I fuck with nothing but sisters, because that's what I saw. We vibed. That's what it was. I moved to Vegas. I still fuck with my sisters. I fuck with whoever fuck with me. And I remember, I used to scare off a lot of people from part of the dominant society because I didn't read books, but I was still on some, That's some racist shit. And if you racist, or if you have people that's racist, don't tell me you got black friends. I want to hear that shit. Show me. Don't tell me. I don't give a fuck. Like, I used to be real adamant on that before when I was younger. And that was before I had knowledge. That's why any person that was a part of the dominant society back then, if I fuck with the bitch, that mean the bitch is solid. I don't give a fuck if she Puerto Rican, Latino, you gonna be solid around me. Cause if you're not solid, then you're not gonna be up under me. Cause I'm gonna make you and your family uncomfortable. And I've always been that way. Whether they black, white, I didn't give a fuck who they was. I was always that way. But I'll tell you this, when you start to date anybody that, okay, well, fuck with you, listen to them. Whatever they show you, believe them. And don't think for 1 second that that's going to change your skin and who you are and what your purpose is. That's the problem. That's the problem. We get around the dominant society, or we date the Latinos, we date the Puerto Ricans. I mean, I fuck with this Puerto Rican bitch. That bitch was fine as a motherfucker. That bitch didn't have a plan worth a goddamn, but she was fine in the motherfucker. But let me tell you something, she didn't have no plan, and she just was on some, let's just live life and all this other shit. She was a cool bride, but I was more on don't get around me or get around my people. Start talking about how ghetto black people are. Once they start talking that's white people talking points. That's the dominant society talking points. And I ain't with all that shit. Now I have fucked with some Latinos that's like, that's all they fuck with is niggas. They don't play that shit. They done ostracize their family. They only for the black movement. And that shit used to fuck with me. And I'm like, damn, for real? Like, nope, I ain't fuck with my family. You know, this was back in the day, and I'm like, damn, for real? Like, nope. Fuck that. Those are people you need to be around. If you got friends that are part of dominant society, let me tell you, if they your real friend, they're going to apologize to you on behalf of how dumb and how fucked up the dominant society has treated your people. And they're going to have a real conversation with you. And they're not going to play this fucking white fragility like it ain't they fault and all this other shit. No, they're going to be like, I do benefit from white privilege. The reason why I'm in the position I am is because I am Caucasian. They don't give a fuck about my education. That's how they're going to be. And they're going to be confident about it. And they're going to call out every racist friend you have around you that's a part of the dominant society. No matter if they're Latino or whatever, it doesn't matter. They're going to do it. The Latin word pluribus unum means of money. 13-letter word, and the 13th letter in the alphabet is M. It's a fucking code. That's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact. See, I just learned something. Every day's a school day. Thieves from the beginning, stealing meanings and everything. That's a fact. Oh, it's all coding. That's why I be watching certain things. It's all just like the news. If you know the CNN, it's the same paradigm. It's all this Trump boo. So you got CNN on this anti-Trump liberal. Then you watch Fox and it's all the way on the right side. But you never see a channel where it's black people that's like, black people, don't vote for the Democrats or the Republicans till they start doing shit for us. Where's that channel at? I'm waiting. Where's that channel at? I would tell all my melanated sisters, don't you go out there and be no motherfucking fool and go out there thinking voting for Elizabeth Warren or one of these clown motherfuckers from the Democratic Party is going to save you from Trump. They are wolves in sheep's clothing. They are friends with Donald Trump. Stop that. Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump are friends. That's why he did not prosecute her or put her in federal prison. That's a fact. Him and Joe Biden are friends. This is what they do. They smile with each other. After all the theater is said and done, they smile with each other. They go eat dinner together. They sit down. This is theater to them. They don't give a fuck. They don't care. That's a fact. And y'all got to remember that. Hey, man, go check out Central Park 5. It's a great docuseries. Man, and if you get a chance, man, go read this Black Labor, White Wealth. Right now, I am reading The Matrix of Power by Jordan Maxwell. Go check that book out. I have not got to the Book of Enoch yet. I'm going to get to that. I got to order that shit. It's in my thing. These are books that I already have in order that I'm going to read. I don't know what my next book is. I'm thinking about getting this book by Benjamin Friedman. And I'm thinking about, because my international Jew book came in. That's like the Book of Eli. That's going to take me a minute. But I got a couple books I got to read. Challenge yourself. Take your book to the corporate plantation. That's what I do. On your break, just sit back and read. Don't have conversations with people. Just read. Dive into the book. Jump out of, have an out-of-body experience and place yourself in that world with what other book. Like, what do they talk? Why would they say? I'm telling you. I do. I'm telling you, that Jordan Maxwell book, The Matrix of Power, that book is a crazy motherfucking book, man. He talks about how the Catholic priests, they wear that fish symbol, and it's all based on, all religious beliefs are based on zodiac signs and astrology. The 12 disciples, the 12 zodiac signs, the 12 hours, of light, the 12 hours of darkness, the sun, and then SON and SUN. He breaks all that shit down. Hey, man, I'll tell y'all this right now. Just read, man. Whatever you can do, get you a book and read it. This is the No I Don't Know podcast. I appreciate everybody listening, subscribing. I had to hit y'all up on another night. I'm going to try to get one in tomorrow, too, and get back on the regular schedule. But I'm going to be changing this shit because I'll be working on shit and I'll be busy as fuck. So, hey, man, I appreciate everybody listening and subscribing. Hit the like button. If you don't like it, don't hit the like button. Leave your comment on why, though. Don't be no troll, no clown ass motherfucker and just be trolling. Leave your comment on why. And if you got a book that you think I should read, hey, leave that too. I appreciate it, man. Hey, man, I'm out. Peace.